I want to hurt him.
Yeah.
That's my mentality right now going into this fight, because I really want to do damage. I wouldn't be taking this fight if I knew I didn't win.
Man, I really don't care. I mean, I'm excited. I dream about stuff like this, man. You know, it kind of give me chills now. You know what you said, Tim is the biggest of names. You know, he cool, but he's not the biggest of names. And
For main event, he's the biggest.
you know, he's the biggest name in Australia. You know what I'm saying?
The much-anticipated face-to-face interview between Errol Spence Jr. and Tim Tszyu was packed with tension. Heated exchanges and intense moments as both fighters traded words and showed their confidence ahead of their highly anticipated showdown.
July 26th, you got Tim Tszyu taking you through the fight. What do you expect that fight to look like?
Man, I really don't know. All I know is he's definitely gonna get punched on.
Tim Tszyu repeatedly emphasized that his recent activity and consistent time in the ring would give him a significant edge over a fighter coming back after a long break. He vowed to set a fast pace from the start, applying constant pressure and bringing intensity from the very first bell.
You got Errol Spence Jr. Give me your thoughts on Errol. You know, he's been out of the game, been away from the game. It'll be about 3 years when you guys fight that he had his last fight.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
I think 3 years is a long time.
Yeah.
Especially at the sort of the peak years of your career.
Yeah.
Don't know how he's been looking after himself or what he's been doing. So, again, he's been one of the greatest fighters of this decade. You know, his results speak for themselves, and his only losses against Crawford,
Right.
who is the greatest fighter of our decade.
Right.
You know, so it's a crazy challenge in front, but a challenge that I'm willing to take with both.
Meanwhile, Errol Spence Jr. explained that his extended time away from boxing gave him the opportunity to recover mentally and refocus after years of intense competition and personal struggles. The former champion said the break helped him heal physically, refresh his mindset, and regain the motivation needed to return to the ring and take on Tim Tszyu.
What makes you feel like you didn't take too much time off?
Because I was also active, and I was also active as far as, you know, playing soccer, training, playing soccer, and learning soccer. You know, going to the gym. You know, running around, just doing stuff, just being active, and you know, a lot of the vices that I had in the past. You know, I don't drink anymore, so just a lot of stuff that was slowing me down. You know, it's not anymore. It's not being a vice. I'm more with my family. You know, if I'm not with my family, I'm probably training somewhere, or you know, I'm probably traveling.
Two-time world champion Shawn Porter reacted to Errol Spence Jr.'s return by saying that only a fighter of Spence's caliber would take on such a tough and risky challenge after being out of the ring for nearly 3 years. Porter also noted that Spence had been determined to make a comeback for a long time, fully aware of the challenges and risks that came with stepping back into elite competition.
Junior coming back after a 3-year layoff. What's the thought process on that?
Coming back in Errol Spence form. Who else is coming back against someone who was just elite? We know that he's, you know, Tszyu is taking his steps back, you know, after the terror that he had in 23, 24, going into 2025. You know, he was on a literal terror. But Errol Spence going overseas, you know, going under the equator, you know, the down under. You know, hostile territory, you know, and the list goes on. And as you heard what Errol said, you know, I did this, I've done this as a pro, Sheffield, England. I did this as an amateur, you know, Russia and Azerbaijan, a couple other countries, and my dad actually was in those countries.
I was about to say, your dad was with him.
Yeah, Errol's coming back the only way Errol could. I think that, you know, we heard him saying he might wake up one day and want to come back. I imagine that before this fight actually was made, he had woken up a lot of days and wanted to come back, and it just took some time for this thing to play out.
Errol Spence Jr. has brushed aside concerns about his lengthy absence from the ring, stating that he has remained active in other areas and kept his mind focused throughout the break. He made it clear that he is returning with complete confidence, rejecting claims of ring rust and insisting that he is still the same elite and dangerous fighter that fans have watched dominate at the highest level.
All out war. I think a one-sided fight. I think he's gonna give it everything that he has. but I'm definitely gonna put on a great show and show the fans of Australia, show the world that Errol Spence is back, and y'all will respect me after this fight. And Tim will respect me.
He also shared that switching trainers has brought a new sense of motivation and a fresh perspective to his comeback. Now working with Ronnie Shields, Spence said he feels more relaxed, energized, and mentally focused during training camp. He believes the change has renewed his passion for the sport and helped him approach his return with greater confidence and determination.
Get back in it. Derek James is out. Ronnie Shields is in. What prompted you to go to Ronnie Shields?
I definitely liked his past work, especially with Jamal. You know, he likes Savannah Holyfield and guys like that, but you know, he incorporates the jab. He incorporate more head movement, and no knock to Derek, but I feel like he took me as far as he could take me. Because if you study fights, if you look at myself in the amateurs and you look at me when I first started professional, what can you truly say that changed about me when I got older, when I'm 35, 34, and nothing changed? Like, I'm still doing the same thing, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, same rhythm, still throwing my punches the same and everything. So I just feel like he got me to a certain level, and he had maxed out. He couldn't take me any further, and I feel like when I'm in the gym, Ronnie, it feels like it's just brand new, like I'm brand new.
Errol Spence Jr.'s new trainer, Ronnie Shields, has focused on refining the key fundamentals of his game, placing special attention on his defense, timing, and overall ring movement after the long break. The objective is not to change Spence's style, but to help him return as a more polished, sharper, and more effective version of the fighter fans already know.
What do either have to do to come out victorious and not just become crossroad challengers from this point on?
I don't know what Tszyu has to do, and I don't care what Tszyu has to do, because I'm with Spence. So.
I know.
But I think for Errol, Errol just had to be Errol. You got to get back to what got him to where he's supposed to be. Errol, he has one defeat, and that's against Errol Spence. But before then, people were avoiding him like the plague, because he's just that good. So I think he just got to get himself back into shape and get himself positioned to where he can do things that he did before.
What have you seen from Errol on his way to this fight and coming back against Tim Tszyu?
Well, just being in the gym with him, we was in the gym for like 3-4 days together, and everything's looking good. He's feeling good, and he's trying to just recapture.
During a recent press conference, Tim Tszyu stated that while he considers Errol Spence Jr. one of the top fighters of this era, he agreed to the matchup because he truly believes he has what it takes to win. Tszyu said this is the type of challenge that can prove he belongs among boxing's elite, adding that his confidence in his training, skills, and overall preparation made the decision easy despite the risks that come with facing such a respected opponent.
I've always been a guy that chases the toughest and baddest challenges out there, and when I got presented with Errol, who's undeniably one of the best fighters of this decade, I didn't hesitate, and I straight away accepted. I accepted not to compete, I accepted because I knew that the victory is only on my mind. I know the challenge that is put in front of me. I'm gonna work super hard, and I'm coming for it all. And thank you again. Victory is mine.
Teofimo Lopez believes Errol Spence Jr.'s return against Tim Tszyu could be one of the most difficult challenges of Tszyu's career, citing Spence's world-class experience, championship background, and proven skills at the highest level. He also said that if Spence comes into the fight fully focused and mentally prepared, he has the talent and ability to pull off a significant upset in what is expected to be a tough and physically demanding battle.
Errol Spence Jr. is making his return after 3 years of being out of the ring against Tim Tszyu. Just what are your thoughts on that fight, and who do you favor?
I don't know, man. It's Al Heyman calling these guys to come back, man, because we needed something up in the sport. This is beautiful. And I'm very honored and grateful to be in the position I'm in while all this is happening. It's a dream come true. Errol Spence, Australia, Tim Tszyu. Heck yeah, I really want to see him win.
Do you think that ring rust is going to play a factor at all with Errol?
I don't think so. I think Errol Spence has been truly like non-stop working out. He already looks like he's in shape now. And when you stay on that trajectory, when you're staying consistently on working out, it's only bound to happen with the sparrings and everything.
Even though both fighters stayed mostly respectful during the build-up, things briefly got tense during their face-to-face meeting. Errol Spence Jr. refused to shake Tim Tszyu's hand, which quickly caught the attention of fans and media. The moment added an unexpected edge to an otherwise calm encounter and sparked debate over whether it was a deliberate mind game or just emotions running high before a big fight. Tszyu later said he found the gesture disrespectful, while Spence kept his focus on the upcoming bout. Despite the incident, both fighters have made it clear they still respect each other as professionals. But the handshake moment has become one of the most discussed parts of their rivalry, adding even more hype to the showdown.
And apparently your opponent didn't have much love to show you. Are you just used to expect respect, like kind of that moment, you know?
Yeah, I think, I don't know, I was always brought up to show some sort of respect to your opponent.
Yeah.
That's alright, it is how it is.
Yeah.
And, doesn't change anything.
Are you surprised he didn't shake your hand?
I don't know, I don't know what I was doing. But it's alright.
Now you're mad at yourself. You're not even mad at him. You're mad at yourself.
No, now I see how it is, you know?
Are you mad at him or you mad at yourself?
No, I'm always...
You're just mad at
I'm alright, you know, like, that's just how I was brought up.
Yeah.
You know, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Tim Tszyu admitted that his upcoming fight with Errol Spence Jr. has brought out a new edge in him, pushing him to a higher level both mentally and physically. He said this isn't just another bout for him, as it has forced him to tighten every part of his training and approach. Tszyu explained that facing a former unified champion like Errol Spence Jr. requires complete focus, discipline, and intensity, and because of that, he expects fans to see a much more dangerous version of himself on fight night. He promised to bring non-stop pressure from the opening bell, saying he is determined to prove he belongs among boxing's elite, while also adding that the pressure and criticism surrounding the fight has only made him more motivated than ever.
There in Spence that makes you feel that, hey, you know what, I think I can take this guy.
It's a fight that wakes me up, you know? Wakes me up. You know those fights that you do like a challenge? Like the Tony Harrison fight for me was like alright, I've got to wake up. This is the fight. And it brings something different in your brain, in your body. You learn more about yourself. You just become a different person, a different animal. And that's another fight that will bring a different animal in.
Roy Jones Jr. said he is excited about Errol Spence Jr.'s return to boxing, praising his choice to face a tough opponent like Tim Tszyu instead of taking an easier comeback fight. He explained that stepping straight into a high-risk bout after a long break shows real courage, confidence, and belief in his own abilities. Jones added that taking on a strong, aggressive fighter right away has earned Spence respect across the boxing world and shows he is not interested in safe or low-level tune-up fights. According to Jones, this mindset reflects a true champion who wants the biggest challenges available, and it has only increased excitement and attention around the matchup while reinforcing Spence's image as a fighter willing to test himself at the highest level.
Make a comeback. We don't ever want to see a guy go out bad and not try to come back, because that's what boxers do. I know he took a lot of things into consideration. He even told me when he spoke to a few people about it, and that was a good thing, but I'm glad he made the conscious decision to return. And I think it's a smart return because it's also against a guy who was on the way up there, who made it to the top, but had some struggles, and now he's on the incline trying to get back up too. So it's two guys trying to get back up. I think it's a great situation. But the biggest thing I gotta say that I love about Errol Spence is that Errol don't want no easy fights. Errol don't want to fight guys that are
he AKA somebody. No tune-up.
No,
he don't want no tune-up.
He wants challenges, you understand me? He wants challenges. And for him to challenge a person like Tim Tszyu, when Tim Tszyu has been regularly fighting for the last 3 years, he's been not doing much. That says a lot about Errol, but that tells you exactly how much fight is still left in Errol. Errol is a guy who's always coming to the party to dance. He don't have time to play no.
Andre Ward praised Errol Spence Jr.'s decision to return without taking a tune-up fight, saying it reflects strong confidence and a true champion's mindset. He explained that only a fighter with full belief in himself would jump straight into such a dangerous matchup at this level. Ward added that Spence's choice shows trust in his preparation, experience, and elite skill rather than caution or hesitation. He also said skipping an easier opponent highlights Spence's competitive drive and willingness to be tested immediately, noting that decisions like this are often what separate great champions from good fighters, especially during high-pressure comebacks.
I have respect for Errol Spence because he's a real fighter. You know, he's not a guy that talks a lot, but he brings a big stick to the battle. And you know, when you deal with Errol Spence, you got to bring your lunch pail because he's going to bring it and he's nothing to play with. Obviously, being 36 years of age, being off as long as he hasn't had the tune-up fights. And by the way, I need my tune-up. Give me my tune-ups because boxing is hard. I need my tune-up because I need to sharpen my tools. I want to make another paycheck before I make the big paycheck, but that's just me. I need my tune-ups, but I respect this brother because he's not with the tune-up. And you got to know who you are. If Errol knows that I can't really get up for that guy, then I can only get up for these type of guys. You gotta know yourself. And Errol Spence knows himself. So the respect is always gonna be there for him. And we will unpack this fight as we get closer because it's not until July 25th, but I'm excited to see him back. I'm excited to see him talk.
Shawn Porter compared Errol Spence Jr.'s comeback to Keith Thurman's return after a long break, pointing out that both fighters stepped back into the ring following extended layoffs. However, he highlighted a major difference. Thurman chose a lower-level opponent to ease back in, while Spence went straight into a top-tier challenge against Tim Tszyu. Porter said this makes Spence's return much more risky and significant. Even so, he still considers Spence an elite fighter with the skill, experience, and ring intelligence to compete at the highest level. He described the matchup as extremely close on paper, possibly a 50-50 fight, and expects a tough, competitive, and physically intense battle despite any concerns about ring rust.
Just floating around a potential Tim Tszyu, Errol Spence.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Because that's wild if it was to happen.
I think that's a beautiful fight for both guys. You know, I kind of know this from seeing Keith Thurman try to come back after injuries and things like that. Keith didn't want to come back against a no-name, you know, but he didn't want to come back against the biggest names, you know. This is a fight right here where both these guys have significant names. Their in-ring experiences haven't been the best lately, and you know, truthfully, I think that this could be a 50-50 fight. If anything, I would lean towards Tim, even though he's been through some crashes of his own recently, pun intended. He's still been active, and that's the difference between him and Errol at this point. But I think it's a beautiful fight, 50-50 fight. I think the fight makes a whole lot of sense. Boxing, please.
Do you think Errol Spence Jr.'s long layoff will slow him down, or will his experience be enough to handle Xander Zayas' pressure? Share your thoughts in the comments below.